dialing in from, let us know. We're always very curious. We got an amazing night planned for you guys tonight. It's a night of stories, and you know what? As long as we do these, and we've been doing these forever and ever, these Tuesday night webinars, I could tell you that the stories are the ones that have the biggest impact. We're going to share some personal stuff with you guys tonight. We're going to share some of our partner stuff, what we're doing with them. It's going to be an exciting night, huh?
Oh, absolutely. I could not wait to tell you a couple stories about some people that I've known for a couple of years, just a short time, that have just, really have made an impact on my life, which is incredible, from where they came to where they are now. But like always, we love for you to let us know exactly where you are. And, everybody already knows the deal here. So we've got Randall from Los Angeles, Kermit Rice from Las Vegas, Andy from Pittsfield, Massachusetts, Northwest Ohio, David from St. Louis, Dave and Hazel from Las Vegas, Larry from Virginia, Annette's here in Atlanta. Welcome, 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 everybody. So glad to have you.
And for those of you that have not seen these in the last couple months, to some of you guys, this may be a little bit of a shock. But yeah, I used to be a big cigar guy, and then now I'm like down to one, maybe two a month. And
today was the day, huh?
Today was the day. I called Julie. I ran out, got my boys something to eat. I'm like, called her. I'm like, I feel like having a cigar. It's like my second one in a row.
No, that's awesome, guys. We'll just, continue to, let us know exactly, where you are. And I mean, buddy, we've got some big things going on right now. A lot of our partners are working on deals. We've got some flips. We actually just bought a property today, didn't we, with Seth?
Yep, we did. We actually, I think, did one or two this week with Seth. That's always exciting. I think we're probably going to be talking about Seth too.
Yeah, exactly.
Here in a couple minutes. So we're excited for you guys to be dialing in. We love doing these Tuesday night webinars. It's a way for us to connect with you guys. It's a way for us to share things that we're doing. It's a way for us to give back through some great, hopefully not just motivational, but educational stuff. And you know what, as I always say, we just appreciate you guys dialing in. There's other things that you guys can be involved in. We're doing tonight, and we love people that are out there hustling this business, making this business happen, because Julie and I are doing it every single day. It's kind of like the fight for the future. So
I know, what they say, you never really go to work. You never really work when you love what you do. I don't know if I've got that analogy right, but I actually get up excited every day, to come do what we got to do. I mean, this is our baby, I suppose.
Well, literally, it is. And it's fun being in this atmosphere. If we would have been doing this an hour or two ago, this would have been hustling and bustling with people. But I think everyone's gone home by now. And so it's just Julie and I. And we got, honestly, what we got for you guys tonight is my favorite topic to cover. Personal stories of our partners, of the deals we're involved in. You guys will learn. You'll see how the numbers work on some of these. You'll hear what kind of partners we do deals with and stuff like that. So good stuff.
Well, we're about 5 minutes in. We've got quite a few people logged on. Eugene Faulkner from Chicago. Actually, you've known Eugene for quite a while now.
Eugene's been to our office too, hasn't he? To some of our live events, or never come?
I've just known him for at least a year, I believe now.
Yeah, Eugene's been a great guy. After a while, we see regulars, right? Kind of becomes like family.
Exactly. Well, why we do this on Tuesday night. One main reason we do this is because there's some of you coming out tonight that are actually already our partners, and so glad to see you again. Not only do we do live daily training calls, you can schedule calls with us directly, but it's just nice to, see you here tonight, learn a little bit more, be a part of the family. And there's some of you out there that are quite not yet partners. And that's one of the main reasons why we do these Tuesday night webinars, is so that you can actually see that him and I are real people, see? And get to know us a little bit better, because our goal is to help other people just like you become successful through real estate investing, and, make it your career, or, if that's something that you want to do, and show you the way to do that. So here at our partner-driven real estate investing program, not only do we show you exactly how to find deals, right? We're going to coach and mentor you one-on-one. We provide live daily training calls along with an entire university of pre-recorded videos so that you're able to learn. And guess what? You're not going to believe this. Once you find a deal, we put our money where our mouth is. We'll actually fund the deal and split profits with you 50-50. I mean, I don't know of a better program than that. I wish there was something like that for me when I was growing up in this business. I was growing up like I'm super old because I'm like 20, right?
It's funny, as Julie was just talking the last couple of minutes, I can't remember. We've been doing these forever and ever. And I always do that part. So Julie literally just jumped in and did my part today.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. And then it is. And it's kind of how we start out. And Julie was very clear. So whatever category you find yourself in tonight, we love it. You know, if you're a partner already, gosh, this is what I call a recharge. Another point to recharge, to recommit, and just take it to the next level. I mean, why not tonight? Why not do that tonight? That after tonight, you're like, no matter where I am in this business, I'm going to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you guys aren't quite partners yet, you need to become a partner. We got something really, really special that we do here in terms of our model. And anytime tonight, they could probably the link right there, right? They can go to, if you really are interested in getting started in terms of doing deals where we generate leads, provide the money, provide construction, split the profits. All you have to do is just go to partnerdriven.com and you'll learn a lot more about who we are and what we do. You'll see a bunch of our partners on there and all that. One thing I do want to mention, I don't know, you can be able to throw that Eventbrite link on there too?
Yes.
The other thing I want to mention while Julie puts the link up is that we have all these like mini live events also. And so our next one is right here in Atlanta, right in our office. I mean, literally where we're doing this tonight, but our next mini live event, and it's a workshop really is what it's going to be. It's going to be February 12th. So if you're anywhere in Georgia, or if you can get to Georgia on February 12th, Julie just put a link up to Eventbrite to register for that. But on February 12th, we're going to do literally what we call a dial-a-thon. And that's where we're going to spend from 11 a.m. till 4, right here, right in this office, right here where we are. Very limited seating. But we're going to spend that one day. It's going to be a workshop. And the workshop's very simple. We're going to dial to sellers. That's it. And not only are you going to come here and dial, and you're going to set appointments with sellers to do real life deals, but before you get here, we're going to have about minimum 250 leads for you, right? Which we're going to skip trace, pay for. So when you get here that day, there's going to be real life sellers waiting for you to call them that we've skipped trace, found owners for you. Julie and I are going to be right here, and we're going to spend the first couple hours teaching you how to call sellers. I mean, let's face it, if you're in this business, you've got to learn how to call sellers. That's what this is all about. And so we're going to teach you how to call sellers, and then for the next 2 or 3 hours, while you're sitting here, we're going to be with you, helping you talk to sellers. It probably won't be uncommon for me to come over there. I'll just grab the phone for you. I'm like, hey, let me tell you how to do it. Julie will do the same thing. I'm sure we'll book a couple appointments for you. You will leave here with seller appointments. I know, Julie, you told me not to say that, but I'm telling you, you will leave here with sellers anticipating you doing deals with them. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't, and no, you do not have to be partners yet to be here. And that's, kind of, and obviously we enjoy our partners to come, so you can learn and get better. But for those of you that are not partners, it's okay for you not to be a partner and come to this event, because in my opinion, learning how to set appointments with sellers is the single most important thing that you can do to becoming a real estate investor, becoming successful at it. Because this is like the one skill set that, like, I'm not really great at a ton of things, but this is just one of those things that I've really gravitated towards, and it is what drives revenue in your business. But listen, don't come to this event with a light heart and don't expect to just be able to come and listen to us. I want to hear you making phone calls. We are going to go over the mistakes that we're making. We're going to go over the good things that you're doing. And I hate to say this, but I've never sit down and call with anybody and not set appointments. I'm a little bit of a competitive person, so, but you've got to be here. I mean, it's going to be incredible. I don't know anybody that does that. You're going to literally watch me make seller calls in front of you. I have no fear whatsoever. If I get the appointment, it's mine though. I'm just kidding.
Well, let me just tell you what Julie is kind of beating around the bush with, and we don't want to spend too much more time on this. She's as good as it gets. I mean, to be in her presence for a couple hours, to see how she does it, for her to one-on-one teach you how to do it, it will absolutely elevate your business.
Woo, we're going to get some deals.
There's going to be some deals. You watch. There will be deals that come out of our dial-a-thon on February 12th right here in our office. Registration's there. It's only $149. Everybody pitches in. We'll provide lunch. We'll have the leads. You know, it's a way for us to everybody pitch in, pick up some expenses. So register, because literally seats are limited. I know we can't twist this camera around, but this is a room that only seats so many people, and once we're full, we're full, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to ask one more question or answer one more question before we move on. Michael wanted to know where the majority of the leads located. Once you register, you're going to get an email from us, and you're going to actually have to provide zip codes to us. And I'm going to give you a little training program before you get here, so you know exactly what zip codes to send us, and you already kind of know the scripts and things before we get here. And then I'm going to need you to send those zip codes to my office prior to the event.
So the leads will be where they live, right?
Well, yeah, I don't want them calling leads here if they live in Alabama.
So there you go. So if you're coming here from Alabama or anywhere you're coming from, you'll be calling on seller leads that we're going to generate for you right where you live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get started. This is a very special night for both Julie and I, because tonight we get to brag a little bit. We get to brag on you, on some of our partners and what we're doing with them and kind of how we met you, and just kind of make this a little bit more personal, a little bit more intimate, because our partners are real life people just like you, doing real life deals just like some of you want to do. And we felt like if we share some of their stories about how they've come into our lives, there's some of the challenges, you know, it's not all hoorah and great and things are going perfect. We want to kind of get real with some of the challenges we've been through, some of our partners, some of the deals that worked, some of the deals that maybe didn't work. And just, you know, again, just show you what our partnering program is all about. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to kind of just bounce back and forth. I'll talk about a couple partners. Julie's going to talk about a couple partners. Who do we have first in our?
All right. Well, let me get this little presentation. Believe it or not, we made a PowerPoint today.
I don't even know how to do that. That's why I don't even know what the next slide is. Who do we start with? Oh,
our favorite.
Oh,
well, I wouldn't say our
that.
favorite. That's wrong to say, isn't it? I just love Seth.
Next to see, don't you like live things? We're going to say that about everybody. Okay?
Yeah, we are.
So what, I mean, if you follow us at all, you know, but it's so true. I mean, I don't care if you're part of a team, an organization, a company. There's people that rise to the top, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I could tell you, this kid right here, and he is a kid, maybe not compared to Julie, but compared to me, he is a kid. And Seth came into our life about what, 3 years ago?
About 2.5 years ago.
About 2.5, 3 years ago. And Seth literally walked through this office about 2.5, 3 years ago. He heard about what we're doing. Our partnering program wasn't really called partnering, but it was the same concept back then. We were calling it something else. And we met Seth just on a regular day. He was just another person that showed up wanting to do some deals with us. And it's funny, you know, it's funny how sometimes, you know, you can have 1,000 people march through your life and 999 of them, you know, in and out. But Seth, that day, and I still remember that day. And there was some couple of funny things. I'm not going to tell them all the funny things that happened that day, especially one with you. but Seth came in here, and you know the thing that really impressed me about Seth from day one, the guy was real. He was in his mid-20s. You know, he was in his mid-20s, and when he came to visit us, it was very simple. I mean, he didn't try to pretend to be something he's not. He told us he really didn't have too much experience in real estate. I mean, the only thing was retail side, right?
Yeah, he has been an agent for, I think, a year or two.
He was a realtor at that point. He's still an agent, and now he's got a thriving business on that side also. He was a real estate agent, had really no experience on the investing side. I think he heard about us through some friends at that point. And, you know, he was hungry, you know, and I remember back then the story that we laugh about all the time now, but it's so true. He was engaged, right? He was in the process of getting married. And the one thing I remember about that day is they made it very clear to us that he was going to use the money. He was going to put it all on the line. He's like, you know, investing world's where I want to be. I have a finite amount of money. this money's supposed to be meant for my wedding, which was coming up.
And he didn't even tell her.
No, he didn't tell her. But he was using the little nest egg he built. He's like, I want to put it towards real estate investing. And so he put it all on the line. He's like, if I don't, I got to make this money back. I got to do this. I got to do that. And we just, we told him the same thing we tell everybody else. Listen, the business works. We don't have to convince you of that. We know what we're doing. We got a history behind us. If you're willing to follow us and kind of, take our lead and do what we teach you to do, you not only will you make this little nest egg back, but you're going to make a lot more. And I could tell you, I still remember back then, Seth's the West Coast guy. And so he's 3 hours behind us. For those of you that know us and follow us, know that I'm an early riser. I mean, to this day, I'm like a 4:30 guy in the morning. And that's the first thing I taught Seth back then. I was like, Seth, man, you got to start waking up early. For no other reason, it just gives you competitive advantage, right? You wake up at 4 in the morning, guess what? Your competitor is probably waking up at 7 or 8 or 9. Right away, you're going to pick up 3 hours of time on him. So I still remember back then I was really big into walking. It's good as I'm smoking my cigar talking about exercise. But I was big into walking. And so I remember I used to take my walks in the morning where I lived around 7 or 8 in the morning. And Seth and I would just talk on the phone just about every day. And I remember that in those initial days when things really weren't happening to the level they weren't really happening. Let me just be clear. They weren't really happening. But every morning I tell Seth, I was like, Seth, dude, just hang in there. Hang in there. This thing's going to explode. It's just, we got to get that first deal. And one thing I got to make sure I don't do today is get carried away in terms of, because I know we got a number of people want to talk about. So I'm going to try to give you some highlights. So for the first 3-4 months, that's really what we did. We talked. But the thing about Seth, he just did. We said, listen, you got to talk to X amount of people every day. You got to say this when you're talking to them. Here's the kind of calls you want to make. Here's the kind of property.
He didn't make any excuses either.
There's never excuse. There wasn't really results, but there wasn't excuses. Those are the kind of things I'm always looking for. When I start with somebody, I'm not really looking for results because you can't really judge how quickly it will happen. But I am looking, is this a whiner? Is this somebody who's going to make excuses? Is this somebody who's going to tell me how to do things after 20 years in the business? Is this the guy that's going to say, well, I know that you guys do this, but man, no, there was none of that from Seth. Seth was just like, boom, dead on, very black and white. We'd have these conversations in the morning. He'd go execute during the day. Next morning, more instructions, more execution, more instructions, more execution. And things just started happening. They always start happening. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. This business is a very actually predictable business. We can't predict exactly when or how, but we can tell you that if you do this business and you do it the right way and you do it consistently, it will hit. And then I don't even remember when we got our first deal. No one ever. Oh, that's the other thing. It always fascinates when people are like, well, I've been doing this for 3 weeks. And Pete, I haven't. I'm like, dude, we've been with Seth for 2.5 years. We're like hundreds of deals that we've done together now. And I can't tell you 2.5 years ago, was our first deal like 21st day into it? Was it 45th day? Who cares? It doesn't matter.
I know it got done because his wedding was 3 or 4 months away from when he signed up.
That's right. So. He did need some money for that wedding. That's right. So within the first, 3-4 months, whatever, we cranked our first deal out. And I think with Seth, we initially started wholesaling deals, right? And we wholesaled the first, 3, 4, 5 deals. And things started picking up. We weren't making a ton per wholesale deal, but we were making $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. We taught them how to build an investor database. We were pinch hitting as much as we can. I don't even think, were we pre-listing properties then? We weren't even pre-listing things. We weren't even, doing the cool strategies we're able to do now with wholesaling. We weren't even at that level ourselves then. But then things started hitting. And then I remember one day Seth calls. He's like, dude, my guy, because when you're wholesaling, you kind of want to get a little bit of an understanding what the construction numbers are. He's like, Pete, you're not going to believe this. Like this whole deal we wholesaled 2 deals ago, we sold it to Roger. Roger, who's like instrumental in what we do now. And Roger is like, he just made 60 grand on it. I go, what the hell? He goes, well, yeah, he just fixed it. I'm like, yeah, Seth, I think you're ready. Let's do some fix and flips now. And so he called Roger, and Roger did our first fix and flip. And I could tell you hundreds of deals later, Roger's still our contractor. We still wholesale some deals. But we do a ton of fix and flips. And again, the story about Seth hasn't changed from 2.5, 3 years ago to today. It's the same thing. We talk. We don't have these long, drawn-out, motivational, like, Seth, you could do it. We're beyond, we weren't even at that point back then. It's just very systematic. But now we're doing a bunch of fix and, like right now, I think we have about 14 deals we're involved with, Seth, in this particular day today. 2 quick stories. 3 weeks ago, I came back, or 4 weeks ago, I came back from Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Dominican
driving,
Republic.
or Dominican
Sorry.
Republic. and I remember I was driving.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going over our deals, and then Seth's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I forgot. I got to give you look out for a wire for like $30-some thousand." I'm like, "I don't even know this on my spreadsheet. What deal is that?" He goes, "Oh, well, you're on vacation, and I think your office was really busy, so I like bought the property myself. I found it myself. I bought it myself. I don't know, put a couple bucks into it."
This is it right here. The one that I'm showing everybody right now. It just closed last week, right?
No, there's another one before this.
Oh.
And I'll talk to you a little bit about this one. Bottom line is he found it. He funded it himself. Didn't even ask us for money. He did maybe a little bit of work to it. And then he sold it, and we made $38,000. I mean,
wow.
Think about it. This is like, this puts the whole partnering program. But today we're showcasing our partners. So Seth at this point does not need my money. Does not even need a ton of expertise. But you know what? It works.
Mm-hmm.
It works. Right? To this day, he's utilizing our back office. He's utilizing our marketing. He doesn't really need my money. He doesn't really need our expertise, but the model works. He did the same thing on this deal that Julie's showcasing. Another deal that he wired us $8,200, I think, last week. Another deal he totally bought himself. He fixed up himself, and he's like, "Oh yeah, look out for an $8,200. So bottom line is Seth, phenomenal. Hundreds of deals into this. We're hitting it stronger as ever. Seth, a phenomenal partner. All right, let's go on, because I think I just took half the time talking about the first partner. Seth, phenomenal.
Okay. So I don't mind talking about this gentleman right here. And I say they're my favorite, but everybody's my favorite.
Jamari, yes.
So this is Jamari Sproul. So Jamari, I've known Jamari for about a year or so now. And, and I know he wouldn't mind me telling you this, but Jamari, started out, and when I met him, he was driving for Uber, which is, obviously great. And he had been trying for so long to get a deal, been watching videos, doing different things. And Jamari is one of these guys that just does whatever it takes to become successful. And let me tell you what else he does. He never gives up. It took Jamari about a year to get his first deal. 1 year. Could you imagine for 1 year?
Tell the story what he did.
I'm going to.
No, you skipped it. In the beginning, how he was trying to get a couple bucks in his, like he was.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He doesn't mind us sharing that.
No. So one cool thing, or the story that he's talking about is, Jamari, was a little bit financially, didn't have as much financials as maybe some people. But, I told him, I'm like, hey, look, handwritten letters work. Letters work. And he said, well, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get these letters out to my driving for dollar leads. Next thing I know, I get a picture on my phone, and it's a picture of him where he went and got blood taken so that he could afford to go buy stamps. Now, I know that's a little bit extreme, right? But he literally did whatever he had to do to get a deal done. That's what I like about Jamari. And also the fact that he never gave up, and he just continuously took on one thing, which was driving for dollars, which he still does to this day. He mastered driving for dollars, and now he's on his 4th or 5th deal in, let me see, it's about 4 months ago when he got that first one, maybe 5 months ago. But this is just one we just did like the other week. It wasn't a huge deal. This was a little wholesale deal where we purchased it for $97. We sold it for $107 in 2 days. Okay. So that's just another one of those, deals. But I mean, guys, if you could learn anything, and actually I've learned a lot from Jamari. Learn, never give up on your dreams. Mm-hmm. If you truly believe you're going to be good at something, I mean, why give up, and do what it takes to be successful? That's what this gentleman did. And he's just one of our great partners. Let
me say something really quick about Jamari. And again, we could probably sit here and give a seminar about Jamari. I mean, honestly, I mean, we have some amazing stories about Jamari, but I will tell you, you know, you put Seth up against Jamari, same characteristics. They just do what needs to be done. You know, it's not rocket scientists. You know, they're not, you know, Harvard graduates. They didn't come from, you know, millions of dollars of inheritance money. It's the same thing. It's like they kind of, they obviously no one can doubt real estate. They understood the real estate business works. We got 20 years credentials here, thousands of successful deals behind us. And again, Jamari somewhere along the line said, you know what, I'm willing to humble myself to follow a pattern, to follow something that works. Actually, it was so cool. Jamari, not this deal, but like 2 or 3 deals ago, he came over to my house and we did some videos there. And I mean, that's just the kid. That's the kid. He's a kid too. Everyone's a kid compared to me. I mean, he's just a guy. It's like anytime we need Jamari, we just pick up the phone. It's like, hey, Jamari, listen, let's meet here for a drink or a cigar, or let's strategize. And we'll get in this car and he'll do whatever the heck he's got to do. And the other thing that I really love about Jamari is that he figured out what works. You know, he literally figured out what works for him. You know, as we work with our partners, sometimes we teach a couple different strategies, techniques, because, you know, some strategies are personality based, some strategies are a little bit geographically based and all this.
Technology,
you know, some people are more in technology, some are not. And so somewhere along the line, when Jamari started with us, he figured out what his strength is. Okay, remember Julie said he was he was Ubering, and so his strength was just being out in the field. Okay.
Yeah, because he could make money while he was driving.
Literally, and he's a great
and a solid personality too.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Can they see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jamari he's a great looking kid. He works out all the time, so he presents himself well. So he's like, you know, I have no problem talking to people. I'm always talking to people when I'm driving them. So he just literally just went out there and started talking to sellers right there, right out in the streets. You know, he'd drive by a property. We taught him how to identify the right kind of properties. So he would drive by these properties, go knock on doors. Is every deal he found came from driving for dollars?
Every one of them.
Every one of them. Every one of his deals to this point that he's made money, that we've made money with, have come as a result of a technique and a strategy that fits his personality, fits what he does on a daily basis, and he just mastered it. You know, the great thing about real estate is you don't have to constantly reinvent the wheel. You know, you don't have to like today. You know, no, I mean, there's some real basic, non-scientific, down-to-earth, grassroots kind of strategies that work in real estate that we support our partners with in terms of skip tracing and helping them with owners and teaching them how to talk to them and all this. And he just got better and better and better. You know, it's another mistake I see people make. They're like, well, this didn't work for 3 days, so let me go to something else. Well, this didn't work for 4 weeks. I'm going to, and next thing you know, 2 years go by and they're wondering, well, why haven't I done a deal? Well, it's because in those 2 years, you've tried 60,000 different things. Figure out what works for you and excel at it. Get better. You know, I call that vertical growth. So Jamari, just no question, one of our favorites.
All right. So we got our buddy Mark Smith here.
You start.
Okay.
I got some things about Mark too.
Okay. So the first time I actually physically met Mark was last fall at our live event. I don't remember when that was, October?
Maybe. Yep.
October. The funny thing with Mark is that he lives here in the Atlanta market, and he was already like best friends with our realtor, Ivan West.
Oh, really?
They'd already known each other for years and years. And Mark wanted to get into doing this business. Okay. I tell you one thing that I really like about Mark, and just like a lot of these people that we're talking about today, is whenever he told me he was going to do deals with us, he literally said, no, Julie, I'm going to do like 10 deals next year. And I'm like, okay, great. And then just unassumingly, we'll go meet with sellers. This is his 3rd deal in like 2.5 months. Mark got this deal doing driving for dollars. All of these deals that he's done doing driving for dollars and networking. Real estate professionals. I mean, just getting himself out there, talking to people, letting them know what he's doing. I mean, he did that one in Monroe. He did one in Atlanta. Now he's got this one in Commerce. I'll talk about this deal because it's incredible. So long about the early part of December, Mark was meeting with the seller in Commerce. Okay. Now I actually own a couple rental properties right down the road from here. So I'm like, man, those are some, the things are going up there. And he's like, Julie, if we can close in 2 weeks, we can get this deal done. Crazy thing was the house had not went through probate yet. We're on our way to getting that, but we're going to be closing on this in what, like a week?
Yep.
And we're literally buying this house for $65,000. Ivan, our realtor, knew another realtor that lived in Commerce. We've already got this thing sold for $120,000. And I literally mean, we're not even sweeping the floors. That, to me, that's amazing. But that's what I like about Mark. He's unassuming. He's not real big and boisterous, but it's like when he talks to you, it's like I just really believe what he says. He's real direct, real straightforward. Don't waste nobody's time. I really, really like Mark. And he don't like taking pictures, so I'm glad we got this one.
No, I'm glad you said that, because this is what I was told. When he closed his first deal and he got his check, I told our team, I was in office that day, I said, hey, let's do a video with him, or, whatever, however, a video conference or whatever. Let's record him getting a check or something. And everyone in my office said, hey, Mark does not go on video. Mark does not take pictures. Mark's just a shy guy. And I'm like, oh, man, at least try to get a picture or something. So then he closes his next deal. 3 weeks later, we made like 20 grand on or something. And I'm like, no, I'm making Mark do a video this time. So I had him come to my house. It was like at 9 o'clock at night. He pulls up in his car, and I'm already had this whole plan how I'm going to trick him into doing a video. I was going to just have him.
I remember this.
Yes. I was like, come inside, and my wife was there, and I was like, just record us while I'm talking to him. He won't even know we're doing it.
Yeah.
And I started talking to him, and I'm thinking, my God, this guy's phenomenal. I mean, Julie's right. He's not he's not necessarily this assuming guy, but he's genuine. And as I talked to him, I said, Mark, dude, you are so freaking relatable. I'm like, we got to do the video. He's like, okay. And for those of you that follow me on Facebook, check it out. It's like a month or two ago to a video. And Mark the camera went on, and he's just the real guy.
He did better on the video than you did.
Yeah, I did hear that quite a bit.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's true. He did. I heard that. And, people sometimes say, well, what skill set do I need? He's a CPA. CPAs aren't really known for being like these outgoing, boisterous people. When Mark talks, you can just tell the guy's real. No nonsense, straightforward. And I'm just telling you, this guy, I get asked about Mark as a partner by so many of our partners, that want to meet him, want to connect with him. He's just the real deal, and sometimes people say, well, what skill set do I need to do this? You don't need you just got to be yourself, right? Mark's himself. He's not anything he isn't in real life. He's just a nice, good guy. And that's the way he comes across to sellers. That's the way he comes across to people around him. We love Mark to pieces. And Mark is like the epitome of what this partnering program is all about. And, interestingly, Mark was in the business before us. He just didn't have the money. He had the skill set, meaning he was the hustle guy. He was the willpower. He was willing to do he just didn't have money to do deals. So when he met us and looked at the partnering program where we're providing all the money to him, he's like, from day one, he's like, this is what I need. And even yesterday, he and I were talking on the phone about some stuff. And I asked him the question I asked so many of our partners, Mark, tell me, what do you think about this partnering? And that's exactly what he said. Pete, I love it. I love it because you guys support us and you give us the money to close the deals. So super guy, super guy.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and click to the next person. Martin Harris.
Martin's a super guy. Martin's in Lancaster. And I remember the deal that actually this is closing like in next week or so, this deal from what I remember. We bought it. Our construction outfit. Now here's a great example of why we feel that we add so much value. Initially, Martin, again, the deal's in Pennsylvania, Lancaster. I think it's a small town probably.
Yeah, him and his wife. And they were, I might be wrong in this, but I think initially Martin was going to fix the property with his construction guys. Well, part of what we do in our partnering program, because remember, it's our money. We're not going to let you make a mistake. Our construction team actually goes out to wherever your deal is and helps you fix it. Well, when our construction team went to Lancaster, right away they reported back to us. They're like, guys,
Martin's a super guy, but that construction outfit that he's got hired, or however that construction outfit came into it, like, Pete, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, well, the bid was 22,000 because their bid was 20 grand, and in the end, it was 42.
So there you go. There was a construction company that underbid it, probably purposely just to get the job. Our construction outfit, who's been doing this for many decades, they right away sensed the wrong contractor in the job. They stepped in, hired some local people. We bought it for, was it 70,000? We ended up spending 42,000 for it, and we already got the property sold, closing on in the next week or so. And what is it? 70 plus 40, 110. It's about $40,000 profit. And again, the same thing about Martin. Just a no nonsense, straightforward, humble, willing to learn, willing to do what it takes, willing to find the kind of deals that make sense, not the easy, low hanging fruit. And it's just, Martin's just a super guy. And again, as you guys look at these guys' pictures, nothing in common, right? It's not like you're looking for a certain stereotype. It's not like we're looking for a certain kind of individual. Obviously, we had Seth in the West Coast. We have Martin way up north. We had a couple guys a little bit closer to us. Whatever it takes, wherever it takes, whatever the geography, whatever the thing is, we're there to help. So we're excited. We know Martin's a long-term player. We know he's going to be with us for a long time. And again, just a great partner.
Yeah. And I just have one last thing to say. I was actually really impressed with his negotiating ability because originally he had this under contract for about, I think, 90,000.
Okay.
When we thought that the rehab was about 20.
Okay.
Yep.
And
he was able to get this purchase price down to 71 to make this deal happen. A lot of times people in this business think that the first amount of money that you put a house under contract is the drop dead. That's the price. He was willing to do what he had to do to get this deal done by knowing how to negotiate this price down. So I was incredibly proud because when I found out he talked him down to 71, I was like, what? It was so exciting.
Good deal, good guy, great partner.
This is one we've not done yet. So this is Chris Barnes out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Tell him how you met him. Maybe not all the details, but you just told me this. Didn't you just tell me a story about how you met him?
Mm-hmm.
Tell a little bit of the story.
Yeah. So for those of you that you may not know this, but actually we had an office in Jacksonville, Florida. I've done probably 600 deals there. I'd say around 600, right?
Yep.
We did a lot of wholesaling and I owned a real estate team there where we taught real estate agents how to, find deals, get listings, blah, 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 blah. Well, whenever I had my office, I would go down there about every 6 weeks. Well, one day when I was down there, I'm like, hey, let's all meet up at this restaurant and we could kind of have this little tiny meetup. Well, I remember it started at 6 o'clock in the evening. And I get this text. It's about 9. I'm tired. I've been working all day. And he texts me and says, Julie, please don't leave. I've got to meet you. Okay. Now this restaurant was on Jacksonville Beach, and anybody that knows Jacksonville is in this county called Duval County, which is the largest landmass county in the United States.
Literally.
He was on the other side of town. And he texts me, Julie, please don't leave. Please don't leave. I almost left that day. Because I was so tired. I just was like, God, and he's like, okay. I'm like, okay, I'll hang around. What I didn't realize is he caught 3 buses to get there just to come and be around people that were doing deals. Okay? He said to me that day, I'll never forget it. This restaurant had this little jut where you would go and it'd be outside and then you was looking over the ocean. Mm-hmm. We're standing out there having a beer and he looks at me and he says, Julie, I have always wanted to do this. I have been working 3 jobs and mark my words, I will be successful. And even my husband, he was there. He even looked at me and was like, Julie, I guarantee you that guy's going to be successful. And I'm like, yeah. He went to working in restaurants and doing this to literally, he's closing, I don't know, between 3 to 5 deals a month in Jacksonville, wholesale deals. Some deals he's not even doing with us. But from that day forward, I've, kept in communication with him. But man, it's kind of funny how all these guys, I didn't even realize this till now, they all have the same thing in common. He literally just said, I'm going to do whatever it takes. You should see this guy on social media. I have never seen somebody do that. He's got a meetup group in Jacksonville. He is killing it. Guess what? He's doing his first flip, and this is the deal. We're purchasing the property for $52,000. The rehab is $35,000. Now we'll say we thought the rehab was going to be like 19 grand, but then ended up it was 35,000 because blooming termites in Florida. So we've got to do a lot of wood rot replacement with an easy after repair value of $135,000. And I mean, that's to sell quick. This puppy's going to hit the spring market, and there is a naval air base right here. This thing's going to sell. But Chris is another one of our partners that did what it takes, and he gets out there and hustles. And I'm so excited to do this deal with him.
I'll tell you guys, it's great talking about kind of bigger deals. Maybe it's cool to talk about some more sophisticated stuff, but man, I mean, this is it. This is who our partners are. They're real life people. And like Julie said, we're talking about the things they have in common. I could tell you, the one thing that I see all of our partners that we're doing deals with, they're hustlers. They're willing to do whatever it takes. Okay. This is not a rocket science business. And
thank goodness, or I definitely would have never been successful.
God knows I wouldn't have been either, my history. And this is why we love showcasing and bragging about our partners, because that's what the partner-driven model is all about, is just real life people who want to do real estate deals, who are kind of logical and smart enough to realize that it's not an easy business, guys. Don't let any guru, don't let any seminar or webinar ever fake you out into thinking this is just one of those easy businesses. You jump in and you don't need any money. You don't need anything. You're just going to go out there. It is a hard business. It is a hard business, and it's a difficult business, and it makes it a million times more difficult if you try to do it yourself. And this is why we're really, I could say this, we're proud of what we do. We're so proud of what we do with our partners. We feel like we're really contributing. We're contributing back to the people we're working with. Now, make no mistake about it, they contribute right back to us, okay?
Yeah, they're friends.
They're friends, they're family. I mean, a bunch of them just stayed at my place at my lake house a couple weeks ago or a week ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so cool now. Well, a lot of our partners do come visit. They stay at my lake house, which is only about 15, 20 minutes away from here. We hang out, we party, we smoke some cigars, have a beer with them. But that is the ultimate definition of what our partnering is all about. It's real life people doing real life deals with people that are a little bit more successful than them. And guys, as always, I'm going to tell you right now, we're looking for more partners. We've done thousands of deals, and you know what, God willing, we're going to be able to do thousands of more deals. But the next thousands of deals we want to do them with partners, because we too corporately, we're stronger working with partners. We too corporately are more confident doing it with partners, and it's just, to a degree, it's funner. It's funner when you could do this with someone else. It really is. When you have an impact on someone's lives, when you're able to get somebody who literally had to was it plasma he was giving up?
Yeah, or caught 3 buses just to come to a meeting.
Man, to say,
why would I couldn't even imagine.
I can't either. I can't necessarily relate to something like that, but it's good for us to be able. It's exciting for us to be able to say that we've had impact on people like that. So guys, today we want to give you the opportunity to do 2 things. Number 1, come here February 12th. The registration link is up. It's only $149 to spend a whole day with us, and it's a working workshop. Okay, it's a working workshop, meaning that day we're going to be calling sellers. We're going to have leads ready to go for you. And that whole day we're going to spend a couple hours teaching you how to do this thing. And then 3 or 4 hours, you along with us are going to be calling your sellers right in your area, setting seller appointments for you to do deals. And the second thing is join our partner program. No matter where you are, anywhere in the United States, go to www.partnerdriven.com. Become one of our partners. We got a great support system here for you. We're going to coach you. We're going to mentor you. We're going to educate you. We're going to help you generate leads right there where you live. We're going to skip trace them for you. We didn't even talk about the amazing app that we have. You're going to have the ability to literally, with our deal-driven app, you have the ability to do deals right from the palm of your hand.
And we have list building capabilities now. What?
That's huge.
Yes,
You know,
huge.
that is huge. And direct mail is right around the corner, right?
Just met with some printers this week.
Yep. Direct mail is right around the corner for that. And so we're excited. We are excited. Again, we provide all the funding for our partners. You know, it's our money, which means if a mistake is made, and sometimes the mistakes may get made, it's on us. We never ask our partners for a penny if it goes over the costs or the deal doesn't perform the way it does. It's all on us. Our construction team helps you fix it. We sell it, split the profits. So for those of you that are ready to do deals, go to www.partnerdriven.com. I'm sure that's on the page also, right? Well, I think that's all I got.
Well, I just have a tiny bit of advice. Okay. Got me all like in my second wind now talking about these people. But listen, you know earlier how Peter was talking about how this was, you know, how it's a lot of hard work. Let me tell you, it is a lot of hard work. I don't want to deny the fact that it is, right? The difference between this type of hard work and other industries, okay? Like I used to run a lawn care company. That was hard work, right? The difference is it's the amount of money you make for the hard work, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference in my opinion. It's not that it's easy. It's not that it's something anybody, you know, necessarily can do. The point is that the value you receive for the effort that you put in is invaluable. I personally could have never imagined in my life I would have been where I am today. I wasn't the kid in high school that was like, I want to grow up and be a vet, or I want to grow up and do this. I never really quite knew what I wanted to do. I knew this. I know I loved people. I know I liked making money. So I just had to find something that matched that. Maybe that matches your personality. But I will tell you this, and listen up, partners. If you find yourself going through your day-to-day and you're like, man, this is, you know, monotonous, this is hard work, just keep going. Just keep swimming, just like Dory says, right? That is your key to success. Do not measure your success in time. Do not measure your success from someone else. If it's truly something that you want to do for yourself and your family, you will be successful if you put the hard work and dedication in. Hone your craft, become brilliant at the basics. Focus on one strategy. Don't try to go out there and learn everything and then have a paralysis of analysis. Quit seeing everybody else be where you want to be. This is your year. This is like 2020. It's our year. Let's make it a great one. And I want to see you next on one of these little slides that we have here. And you better be at the 14th event. And by the way, this is not like a sales 12. I'm sorry. It's the 14th. That must be Valentine's Day. Okay, sorry. If I could show you guys this room, this is not a sales pitch. This event, if you do not register now, you will not have a space. This is in our office. I only have so many seats. And not to mention, I can only do calls with so many people at a time. So get off your rear and sign up and come to this event.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So guys, that's all we got for you. We'll see you again here next time, next Tuesday, same time, same place. Have a great one.
Bye. Thanks, Crystal and Tommy. They're our partners. I just want to tell them, hey.